Fantastic Forum, assemble. We're gonna leave it at that, right, Jay?
We can, but
Fuck it. I came out shot of in a cannon. Right, a bat out of hell.
I'm gonna delete this so it doesn't happen again.
Well,
Or do you
okay.
want to keep it?
What, in the longer intro? Was it the
The
longer
shorter,
intro?
the one we just did.
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
delete it.
We don't need that. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. Thank you for joining us again. We're back here on our weekly talk support group, comic book reader club. I just spilled my sparkling water, and Larry's not here, so it's going to be a great show, as you can tell. But yeah, we're going to give you a little bit of updates on what Jay's been watching. Horror movies, playing. You know, I couldn't even see him earlier because he was playing Sandland. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. And I went and saw the movie Right Here, Right Now, which apparently a lot of people thought was like a vampire movie. We'll talk about that. I'll tell you what it is, so you don't know what it is, so you'll know what it is.
All you have to do is read the description.
Yeah, but people don't read. That's why they're going to the movies, so they don't read. So it's but yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit, and then and also he bought a bunch of comics, so we'll see what he bought, and yeah. Aside from that, the usual ways of calling us or getting a hold of us, fantasticforum.live. But that I'm not gonna take the intern's job. Mr. J, cue the intern, please.
That's not it.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to. Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun.
She wants to do double work, huh?
That's
fucking intern, I swear to God.
And then that voice you heard is Jay
know you
right
want
there.
to.
Oh, still going, huh?
Oh my God. Okay.
This is what Larry does. I hope it wasn't like an emergency or something tragic, because then I'm gonna feel bad.
Somebody's on their deathbed. He's over there like
bit.
doing CPR, keeping him alive right now, and we're making fun of him.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case. But nevertheless, we're here. You know Oz, you know Jay, the usual suspects, yada yada yada. Yeah.
By the way, Jay, right before the show, Jay was talking about getting Green Lantern issue 12 because he saw Star Sapphire on it. I just looked it up. That is a really good cover.
I know,
Share
right?
it.
The one
Share
where
it.
they're making out, right?
Yeah.
Well, it says here the StreamYard link on Twitch is dead.
Rest in peace, Twitch. Rest in peace.
You're doing this, and here's a Tiger Claw. It says, "What's up, guys? You seen the set photos from the Superman movie that's currently being filmed? What are your thoughts on Superman and Mr. Terrific's costume?" And then Hex, never mind. I hit the wrong thing. As you can see, Tiger Claw figured it out.
Yeah. Well, what I think is that I'm offended that Tiger Claw is asking about those suits instead of asking about the Batman trailer that dropped.
Well, I didn't even see the Batman trailer.
Tiger Claw put it in our Discord.
There's a Batman trailer?
Yeah, for the Cape Crusader. The new Bruce Timm animated joint.
Oh, fuck that.
Dude, it looks good. Like,
I was thinking, when you said the Batman, I kept thinking the sequel to the movie, The Batman.
No one's thinking about that.
It was a Penguin trailer.
Yeah, I saw that, but that's why I was like, whoa, both trailers?
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't care about those.
Yeah. But did you see the costumes though from the?
Yeah, they look fine. I guess like they look better than like cosplay
Do they?
a little.
Well, the Mr. Terrific one is just plain terrific. Like it looks good, but the Superman one it looks too padded. Like not even like padded like to cover his muscles. Just padded like if he's gonna be a like Captain America costume. You know what I mean?
They'll fix it in post.
This
Yeah.
is
Heck is on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
I was
Hot
trying
Wheels?
to I was trying to Google just the image, but it's fucking
No, it's good. I like this. I
on
like
Google it's distorted. This is actually like high
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah, no, I like this.
This is I would make this my wallpaper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
a
I might
good
buy
cover.
that. I might buy that issue just for the cover.
That's exactly what Jay did. He saw the cover and he bought it. He didn't even know what's going on. He's like, fuck that.
Right. Plus, I am planning to get the next issue.
Also, I kind of scanned through it and there's a Guy Gardner logo back up.
There
Nice.
is.
What?
indeed.
I might get this now too.
I didn't read it. I just kind of looked at a couple of pages. I don't know if that's real Lobo or that Pretty Boy Lobo.
I thought
Jay's-
I thought they got rid of that one.
I know
Jay's
at
an
one point
influencer.
they were both there at the same time, so it's two different Lobos.
But that's like
And then
After-
the
after
original
Rebirth.
Lobo kicked the shit out of him or something.
I thought he killed him.
I know the one with the daughter is the
can't kill
real
him.
one.
You can't kill a Lobo.
But
Watch
one
him
has to
try.
not be a Lobo, right?
Well, yeah, one could be a fake Lobo.
I mean, it's just not the last Sarnian. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has Superman not been the last Kryptonian, the last son of Krypton, and they still
Since
call him
like
that?
the 1950s.
Yeah. Oz, man, what'd you think of that costume?
Which one, Superman?
Yeah.
I like the colors, and I like that they're bringing back the red trunks. I don't like that New 52 lines out of nowhere, and I don't like that. And maybe they'll fix it somehow after they shoot it, but it looks like it's really loose on him, and it's a shame because the dude actually, I was gonna give him credit. He worked out and he bulked up not a lot, as much as he could, more
Yeah.
than the guy playing Batman. He did a pretty decent job of bulking up, and you can't really see it in that costume.
Why do they have so much filling in that costume? Like, because it's not even muscle padding. It's just like, I don't know, what is he retarded? He's gonna hit a ball or something? Like he's afraid he's gonna get hurt? Like what the fuck? It looks like those, like his arms look like those things the police use to fucking train the dogs.
It did. Fuck.
It
Yeah,
does, like what the fuck,
His Clark Kent looks a little better. He actually looks a lot like My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, great, because that's what we want to see.
I heard he has curly hair.
Yeah, it's like not really combed that much. I guess it's so that there's bigger contrast between Clark Kent and Superman.
I guess a lot of people have a problem with that. I've never given a fuck about that.
The different, like the hair
Like
looks
the
the same.
people, no, that people
Yeah.
can't tell that Superman is
Oh,
Clark Kent with the glasses. Like I've never given a fuck about that.
I know. I'm
'Cause you
laughing
see
because
Off his glasses and be like, whoa.
there's this web comic. Actually, Jay, you turned me on to the red dot. Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's she did it. Today's was like it's in the dark, and she just hears like clink. Like, what is that? Like, oh, nothing, honey. My glasses just fell. And then they're like, oh, okay, let me turn on the light. We'll pick up. No, it's all fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, because I don't want to forget and step on them. And then when she turns on the light, it's like, Superman. Four little slides on Instagram. It's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I told you she was funny.
She is. No, she is.
really
I've been
funny.
ever since we met her, and then we read the little ash can thing she did, and like, hey, she's pretty funny. Yeah, I like it. I still won't call it real comics, but it's still funny. I read that more than I do real comics. That's the sad part about it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The Mr. Terrific looks cool, but I haven't seen it full on, like the face straight ahead. But it seems like it's okay. Like I thought it'd be a little weird. Like I don't know if that makes me racist or colorist or something, but it's like, the black makeup on darker skin might not even like pop or something, like it does in the comics. But it seems to pop in just a regular snapshot from set photos. So
And he's actually wearing a mask. It's not just makeup.
oh, is he?
Yeah, I think it's a mask.
Oh, I'm out.
Then he can like pull it out, and it's got like wires and stuff, and it's his T mask.
Oh, all right. I'm in.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he had in the comics, like,
Yeah.
or not the comics, in the
In
cartoons.
the cartoon, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Like it's not a paint; it's like a mask you can take off and use it to do stuff.
Now I might be giving him a little too much credit, especially since apparently Black Noir is in it too.
Oh, I'm out.
Wait, who?
Black Noir.
Black Noir from The Boys.
Oh, okay.
There's a dude that's like, I said it might be Ultraman, right? Or is it Ultraman?
There's no confirmation, but it's the same you would see in the Ultraman costume.
But he just looks like a dude in combat.
But he looks like Black Noir, and the rumor is that he's a Superman clone that Lex Luthor made. It's kind of like a Bizarro. And when I read that, I thought, oh, so he read The Boys. I'm glad he read a book, but that's the wrong universe. Like that's
Well, and if you're trying to do like that weird take on Superman, you might as well go with like the Joe Casey one where he fights those British dudes.
The Elite?
The Authority?
The Elite, yeah.
That's a good one.
Authority.
Yeah.
Like I never read that comic, but I've been told about it.
Yeah.
The animated movie is pretty close to it.
Yeah, it's pretty close to
Okay.
it. And it's
That was a good movie.
and it's just a group of heroes that kind of fit into the DC universe. Like they could coexist, where it's like the boys and the boys type stuff in the DC universe is not really even in Vertigo. It's a little tricky, for them to coexist in the same universe. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have hope for this movie, but I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong in these instances.
I would love for us to get a sequel to Brightburn.
I thought they were working on that.
Was that James Gunn too?
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. This is
Yeah, there you go. That's that kid. The Ultraman is Brightburn. All right, Jay, man. Tell me a little about something spooky, man.
Okay, so I saw The Possession, which is it's basically about these guys are remaking The Exorcist, and the lead actor ends up getting possessed while they're remaking The Exorcist, and it's pretty good until the ending happens. Then it's like, what? Why? Like, it's weird. It comes out of nowhere and makes little to no sense. And there's no build up to it. But everything before that was fine.
But it's the end?
But the ending kind of just, it just kind of craps out at the end, which is, I guess, a trend, because I also saw Latency, which pretty good, but then which Latency is about a woman that gets a haunted VR headset that melds with their mind and causes her to become haunted. And then again, it's like it's fine until the end where it's super predictable and it doesn't make sense from the beginning because you are actually getting haunted before the headset and they never explain it. So I guess
Stephen King will tell you that these are difficult.
Yeah, but Joe Hill will say they're easy.
But neither of them worked on these movies, right?
Right. That is true. Neither of them worked on these movies, which is unfortunate because I think they would have came out a lot better. Actually, Latency is better in hindsight because when you watch it, like it's just like really boring. But then, afterwards, it's like, I guess it wasn't that bad. Like it could have been a lot worse. It was pretty boring though.
I feel
I don't
bad
know.
for you.
I like popcorn.
Do you watch these on the? You like popcorn?
I do. So when I go to the movies, I get to eat popcorn. So it's never as bad as it could be.
You get the medium or the big?
I get the big one. I'm supposed to get medium because for my health, but
no, you get the big one and you can refill it. It's corn. It's a vegetable practically.
Yeah, but the oil is that they cook it with is like really bad for you.
Plus all the butter you put on it after.
Butter is fine.
Yeah,
I think
butter is
you can
all
eat like a stick of butter.
Yeah, but that thing's not really butter.
You just can't do it every day.
You lose weight if like you put butter in your coffee or something.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of Joe Hill, I've actually been reading. Amazon did like a creature feature set of books. Actually, it's short stories. With Joe Hill doing one, some other guys doing others. Paul Tremblay's in there, and Joe Hill's was good. It was about a haunted baby carriage. But no, trust me, it's better than it sounds. Like,
No.
I'm not explaining it right.
Yeah.
But because I want to move on to the one that actually scared me, was a story called Ankle Snatcher. About
it's the sequel to the haunted thing.
Nah, it's like it's about a thing that it lives under the bed, and if you ever get out of bed without turning the light on, it'll snatch you and drag you under the bed and kill you. And I was reading this, and it was like actually pretty scary. Like I got scared a little bit. Like I don't have to worry about it. Like I always have my lights on anyway. But listening to like the description of the hands, like grabbing the person, like it's pretty creepy. And it turns out it can exist under like any bed. And it's actually a really cool story because it turns out the Ankle Snatcher isn't the only thing like that. And you have like a ton of people in prison for killing like their spouse or their relative or whatever that actually didn't do it. That it was like one of these monsters, and they're kind of like trying to get together, figure out the rules of each monster so they can kill it. But the main character is like, no, you guys are crazy. Like, that couldn't actually happen. That was just like making excuses for my mind. And like, it's a good story. Like, I definitely recommend it.
It's like that movie with Howie Mandel and the kid from Wonder Years. Did you ever see that?
I don't think I saw that.
That wasn't a horror movie though, but it was like he goes under the bed and then he starts becoming a monster too.
Oh, Little
Oh.
Monsters.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
fucking hate that movie so much. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate that movie with a passion. Like every time it was on, my brother would watch that shit, and I'm like, dude, this is so stupid. Like, why are you watching this for the 12th time? Like, you know the shit by heart. Like, fucking stop. Like,
See, it's the
Man.
only horror movie Lawrence Young can watch.
my brother had the worst taste in movies. Like, God rest his soul, but his taste in movies was shit. Like, he liked hackers. Like, with the old man skateboarder as the villain. Like, just goddamn terrible.
I love how he's like, I don't remember that movie, Little Monsters. Oh, I hate that movie.
Well, the description,
Yeah,
because I was like, Howie Mandel, like I feel like I've seen most of the Howie Mandel movies,
yeah,
but I always forget that that's him in that.
yeah.
And it's like, as soon as you said, like, the kid from the Wonder Years, and I'm trying to think, and I was like, oh, that shit. Like, oh, I fucking hate that movie so much.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday. Like every movie you go to with your like movie pass thing is gonna be Little Monsters.
Dude, a movie coming up that I do want to see, they're re-releasing Coraline.
Oh
with
yeah,
enhanced 3D, yeah.
nice.
So I'm definitely gonna check that out when that comes out. In August, I think the 8th, but don't quote me on it. I put the trailer up in our Discord so you can check that out and see when it's coming out. But I remember the 3D actually really being good. So if they've enhanced it,
Yeah,
man, I can only imagine.
yeah. Because at this point, that movie's like almost 20 years old now.
I think they said it's the 15,
15. Yeah, that sounds about right.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to see a movie that people think is a horror movie. And I guess it has horror elements in it, but it's a concert movie of a band, you know. And it's yeah, I remember talking to somebody at work and they're like, "Oh, I thought that was some vampire movie." Like, I was gonna go see it because, you know, I like vampire movies. They're like, no, go see it anyway, but it's not, you know.
What's the movie?
The movie's called Right Here, Right Now. It's the Ghost concert movie, and I was actually there the night they filmed it, so I saw myself in there. Like, hey,
Oh, nice.
I didn't really see myself. I just like there's a shot where I'm technically in the shot. You just can't see me. So, but I know I'm in the shot. The way that the shot's framed, like I'm there. Like I can point to where I'm at. You just can't see. Yeah.
Well, maybe in the 4K.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
If they just saw the poster, it looks like a Halloween musical.
And that's a good way to describe it to somebody that like, but it's just not.
I just don't see vampires.
Yeah, it's weird. They just thought the guy was a vampire. Like, yeah,
It's a little vampirish.
a little bit. Like he has those kind of like Bram Stoker's, like that movie where he has like the robe on and stuff. He's got kind of that vibe going in certain parts, not really in, you know, depending on how he's dressed and if you see something in the trailer where he's kind of like that, like he's just wearing the robe, hasn't put on the makeup yet, like you can,
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would have thought this was some kind of necromancer bard movie.
Yeah,
Looks like a zombie flick
a little bit
by the poster.
Yeah,
which I'm trying to find a large poster to put in chat, but it's being more difficult than I would like.
I'll throw it on there.
One of the things that this movie showed me is that like there's a very they need to upgrade some of these sound systems in some of these theaters because it wasn't in like the big theater. It was like Jay, you've been to the Del Amo theater, right? The AMC.
It's been a while, but yeah.
But you know, like once
Oh wait,
you get
that's the one we went to for your birthday, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. They used to be one of my main theaters.
Yeah, so like you know, remember how like all the like theater 1 through 10, the single digit theaters are all the big theater, right? With speakers on the side and everything. All the other ones just have the speaker behind the screen. And with movies, it's not that big a deal. They could mix them well, but when you got a live concert that's supposed to feel like you're in the concert, you can see where that could be deficient, you know. So
Right.
I wish they need to like put a couple speakers in the back or something, you know. So the audio mix for that particular one, you know, I don't think it's a movie's problem. I think it's a theater's problem. But other than that, it was pretty good. They do a thing where it's like, you know, they tell you to put the movie away, but we're telling you to put it out now. And then it's like because they encourage people to dress up to go see it. So it's like. Just take a selfie and then scan the QR code, and it puts it into like this thing they're doing across social media. So
nice.
I did that, but I didn't know what it was. So I'm like, I just accidentally took a selfie, but it was like, like what? Like because it like the fucking the flash hit my face, and I'm like,
I hate it.
Yeah. So like, yeah, and so I look all goofy in it, but I sent that off anyway. Fuck it. And then
Taken says the poster looks very Rocky Horror, but with skeletons instead. And yeah, it really does.
It does have even some of the songs have some of that feel to it too, like very rock opera-y, you know. And especially in the newer albums, because they do kind of tell a little bit of a story, aside from the lore of the band. So the movie connects the lore of the band, like it gives you a more expanded version. They do these little short films for their YouTube channel called Chapters. So I think they're like on 7, and then the movie finishes off everything they were building up through that, and then certain things that they did, like they did a pop-up like thing at one of the bars on the Roxy on Sunset Boulevard, and it was literally just the cadavers of the old like popes and a bunch of their like, oh, and this year they played this song, they played this, you know, these are the songs they did, and then that's when they showed the other old Pope Zero that had like, oh yeah, it's very unknown, but he had 3 hits in the 60s in 1969. So they debut the 3rd one that he did, because there's like he did 3, but they don't the little single that they released only had 2 songs that he did that was done in the past, and they're done in like kind of like more Beatlesy, psychedelic rock style, you know. And so then the 3rd one is the song that they play during the credits at the end here and in the movie. So it kind of builds up like stuff they've been kind of teasing for the last like I want to say almost 10 years. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. It's like it's a very cool thing. Like if you like the band, it has they have like a lot of story beyond just the music, and that adds to it, and it adds to the live show. And you know, I don't think they ever thought they were gonna be that big either, because he's like, man, every time we come back around, it's like more and more people. So it's like the show has to get bigger and bigger, you know. But
surprisingly big out here. There's a lot of dudes that like I thought would be listening to country or listening to Ghost.
Yeah, it's so, and they appeal to a lot of people. Like there's like whole families that go. Like even in the movie, there's a mom with her 2 daughters, and it's like the mom's like my age, maybe younger, and then the daughter is like 10, and then the little daughter is like 4, and they're all wearing like matching Ghost shirts, and then the little girl has the little Pope plushie that she's like carrying to the movie, you know, like, and it's crazy how it's like, man, like if this band were to come out when I was a kid, it's like it would divide me from my parents, you know. But they, for some reason, it's a band that like everybody like that likes it, their girlfriend will like it, or their brother will like it, or their mom will like it, you know. Like there's even there was a YouTube video where it's like this this girl was showing it to her grandma who's like religious, and then she started crying at one of the songs because it's like the song hit her, like it is like, this band is great, I love them. Like, and she doesn't know that they're like super blasphemous for, I call them for sake of performance, but the devil hides in sheep's plain sight and all that stuff, But either way, it's I mean, she liked it, she liked it, and
that's why they change their lead singer like every couple of years, man. You can only handle so much Satan.
It's it's every
Like
album
Menudo.
cycle. Like this is the only one, and this dude they have right now is the dude that he was there for 2 album cycles. He's the only one to ever do 2 albums. So he's getting big hit, and he's like, this is my time. It's me, And then he doesn't realize that he's really like being prepped to be made the head of the clergy, as they call it. So he's going to be the one appointing people now.
What's funny is
his name is Cardi C.
Oh, who's Tobias Forge?
That's the singer, but he's the creator. He's the brain behind everything. He's a singer, but he plays a different character every album.
Okay, no, because I looked up the band, like the band members. I wanted to see how many vocalists they've had, and all the band members are in their full costume except for this guy, Tobias Forge. He's just like this plain looking white dude staring at me.
Yeah, because they're usually like hired people, so they're paid to be anonymous. They do get credit in the movie because they have to get residuals and shit. So if you want to see what the touring band was for that tour, like you'll see it in the credits of the movie.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Where they're like most of the band is nameless.
Yeah, they're all like all the members of the church are nameless ghouls. So technically, they're nameless. And they used to have, when it was only 5 of them, they used to have like one was Earth Ghoul. So nameless ghouls would be us, and then the band members were like Earth Ghoul, Air Ghoul.
That's how they're listed here.
Yeah, right. So once he started adding other members, because he started adding like a synth player, a tambourine backup singer.
There's a saxophonist.
There's a saxophone. Yeah, but that's Papa Nihil.
Yeah,
like he's Pope Zero, and they have to revive him because he's dead already. So they have to they inject him with something and then put electricity, and he comes out and then plays. When he comes out, he's like he's angry like Superman. So he tries to kill the guy that brought him back. So then he does he comes just for the saxophone solo, and then because it's an instrumental song, and then they have to put him back so they can't stop him because he wants to keep playing the solo and shit. So then the guy that brought back has to inject him with something, and then he's like, he's like a Frankenstein monster now. And then, but for the tour before, he was like in a wheelchair, and they brought him out, and he's like he can't get up. He's like sickly and shit. And then once they gave him the saxophone and put on his sunglasses, he got up and like started going crazy. And then he's like dying and dying. They put his oxygen back on, and then they wheel him out. It's so cool. And then so
it's a dude in a Pope outfit with sunglasses and a saxophone. Why do I not listen to these guys?
Dude, you would love them. They're just like they're actually more ritualistic than the Catholic Church, more dogmatic, and they're just about fun and fucking. Like it's like, hey, don't fuck with anybody, and if you want to fuck with somebody, you want to start some shit, go fuck yourself. That's one of the things he says as he's saying goodbye at the end of the show. And yeah, I mean, they're a really great band and great songs.
Good guys.
I'm not gonna go that far because I don't know who the people are in the band, and then the dude seems
good guys.
Yeah, the singer Tobias Forge seems like a cool guy, but I'm pretty sure he did screw somebody over on a lawsuit to get the full rights to this shit. Because like before it was like the band members had like a symbol because they were a band, and then after the lawsuit, none of them have any symbols or anything depicting who they are. Like was it Air Ghoul and Fire were like the two guitarists, yeah. And now it's like, nah, you don't know who's who. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know Dave Grohl's a fan.
Yeah. He was a nameless ghoul for one song in the music video. He was
and he just got called out by the Swifties recently. Apparently he made a joke at Taylor Swift's expense.
And now he's a dead man walking.
He said he was basically like, yeah, you should call our tour the Errors Tour, because we make mistakes because we're playing live, unlike some other bands. And then Taylor Swift got back and like, no, not at him, but she basically said to her crowd, like, we're putting on a 3-hour show for you. Everyone's live. Like, we're doing this for you guys. And like a lot of the Swifties started going after Dave on Twitter.
But I don't think he meant it for her directly though. Like, he meant it for other bands probably,
There's a lot of pop singers that lip sync their concerts.
Well, all the ones that dance and all the ones that dance and sing like a lot, or I assume are lip syncing, because they're never out of breath and they're doing it for like 2 hours and shit.
Taylor says she doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jackson didn't lip sync.
Yeah, but he also he couldn't sing without like tons of amplification, because that register that he sang in, he couldn't project far further than 3 feet. Yeah.
We know Britney. We know she doesn't sing live.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's exactly what Mo said. Like, she's doing more cardio in one show than I do in a month.
Yeah. I know at least Lady Gaga did not lip sync for at least one song, because she's like, oh shit, when she fell, she like fell flat on her face, like yeah, that was the Ghost movie. It's a 5 out of 5. Aside from the theater issue, the music's great.
Yeah, the theater gets a 3.
Yeah,
I used to have the heavy metal moment.
No, I actually I had a heavy metal minute, but I didn't do it because Larry's not here.
But I was gonna play it as you lead out of.
No.
Yeah. Here, I got this.
The power fuck to and spit on that thing.
Dude, I've been hearing that all goddamn week. Like, hey, I'm at work. Hey, this thing. Hey, we can't turn this thing. Did you huck to
So dumb.
The last bit of movie stuff. A Quiet Place Day 1 comes out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I gotta go see
that. We got that with A Quiet Place too.
No,
that's still like
after.
No, that's actually after A Quiet Place Part 1.
Yeah, that's why it's Part 2.
No, I mean in Part 2, don't they flashback to like the invasion?
No,
Part 2. There's one of those that I haven't seen either one of them, but there's one on where they flashback to when the invasion happened.
Right,
but I don't think it was
they
like
show
that.
The date.
Yeah,
it happens, but then they immediately go forward about almost a year.
Just remember, what's Mr. Fantastic running away from cars and shit.
Yeah. They like show the initial invasion, but then it stops. Like, this is gonna be the initial invasion and like the days after the initial invasion.
It starts on day 1 and moves forward from there.
I like how you called him Mr. Fantastic and he doesn't even have the part.
I forget his name. Look, he's the only Mr. Fantastic we've had.
Let's call him Jim. It's fucking Jim.
Jim?
Oh,
Jim. Yeah. Nah, Jim's Asian.
Fucking
I love that. Taking Tugboat says, yes, part 2 shows Invasion Day for a few minutes.
Yeah, I haven't seen either one of them, so I don't know how much of that movie it was.
Yeah, that was a very small part.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
No.
No, you can't. You can't shut the fuck up today.
Yeah,
Larry's
not in
not
my
here.
DNA.
No, Larry's not here. Don't talk about DNA.
Okay, so should we move on to comics?
Yeah, let's do that.
Comics.
Go. You guys want to start with First Night?
Hold on.
I'm good with that.
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like review.
well not like that, but like
Heck, man, why don't you tell us about Batman: The First Night?
We're talking the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So Batman First Night is a story set in what is it? The late
1939.
30s. Yeah, 1939. It's all first appearance Batman taking on the baddies of Gotham, and it's real pulpy. There's these dudes on death row getting executed, and then they find out that they're coming back later on as grotesque Solomon Grundy looking monsters, and Batman's hitting himself because he didn't know this kind of science was out there, and he's trying to figure out who's doing it, what's going on, what the fuck is this, and it's a crazy story. And even I was thrown at the end because who I thought it wasn't who it was, even though I should have seen it right there because it's all drawn, But it's a good story mixed with a lot of what's the word? I don't want to say pretentious because it's not. Maybe moral. It's a moralistic story near the end because they relate it to what's going on in Germany at that time, and it kind of pulls you out of the story, but it's related in a little way. It's a good story, but it's weird.
Well, that's the thing. Like for me, it's the first issue had a lot of that, you know, and then the middle issue didn't, and then the third one had it again. Like
it had it again, but not as much. I think that was like the tie it up.
But but it was still very like when you say pretentious, I'm like, yeah, I think I could say that because if you remove that element to it, none of the story changes. I know
it doesn't change nothing.
It's just literally just conversations.
Yeah,
that they're having. And I don't know what they're planning to do with this character in relation to World War II or anything like that. But if it's like laying a foundation for something else, then I'm okay with it. But I don't think
laying a foundation for Captain America.
Yeah, but that's the super soldier serum right there. It's literally Project Rebirth.
And when you were talking about the Pope and Ghost, I was thinking, oh man, they're going to turn him into that monster like in the comic.
Yeah, well, that's technically that's what they do. Only he doesn't get deformed. Yeah,
You read the whole thing then, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oz, did you read any of it?
I read as much as I can handle.
How much is that? Like half of the first issue?
No, I read the first issue because we talked about that before, and then I kind of halfway through the second issue, I skimmed through the rest.
Okay, fair enough. So, Batman. So there's this small sub story in the book where Bruce Wayne funds a movie, so this actress and these people can get money. They're barely getting out of the depression, so people can get paid. And in was it the second or third? But Bruce Wayne ends up banging the lead actress in the movie.
It's in the second one.
Yeah, and then fucking she finds out he's Batman,
Yeah.
Because my locks, I don't have good locks.
Yeah. He doesn't have Alfred to usher her out in the morning.
He don't got nobody.
Yeah. Because every other Batman book is like, oh, sorry, Miss Vale. He had to run off. But here's your clothes was pressed and cleaned, and get the fuck out.
Yeah, right.
Money's in the counter. Leave.
Yeah.
There's eggs on the counter. Eat them and get the fuck out.
Yeah. I packed them to go for you, Miss Vale.
Meanwhile, this Batman's over here like in a dirty ass house.
Yeah.
All this money,
shit.
dirty ass house, dusty as shit, looks abandoned, but he's in the Batcave all the time.
Well, he can't have a maid. Look, he bangs one chick and she finds out his identity.
Well, because he ain't got no butler.
What I hate is the Tim Burton movies where every chick he bangs finds out he's Batman. Like, so, and I count like Forever and Batman and Robin with that too, because
I don't count Batman and Robin for that.
Well, he produced those and they're technically in the same universe. So
yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't even know. I don't think he even slept with a chick in Batman and Robin when he was Clooney, right? Because he played him as gay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like
who was
I
the main
I don't know.
woman in that one?
The main woman in there was Batgirl to me.
Yeah,
but that was
He
because
did.
that was a 12-year-old me and Alicia Silverstone. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's everybody in Alicia
Yeah.
Silverstone.
So,
I thought it was Vicky Vale.
No,
Yeah.
Vicky Vale wasn't
The
past
first one.
one.
yeah, and then there was Catwoman in Returns, which kind of makes sense, but still, like
But
you don't have to. She doesn't need to find out.
get there. They didn't even
Yeah.
get there. Though.
Oh,
Right.
They
They
wanted
didn't
to.
even give him a love interest
In
Yeah,
in Batman and Robin.
yeah, no, they didn't.
Because he played him like a gay man.
And then
His
it
love
was
interest was Chris O'Donnell.
yeah,
Yeah, there it is. That's his love interest.
yeah.
And they fought pretty good in that one too. So
I guess technically,
They wrestled like in
technically
Brokeback
it
Mountain.
was Poison Ivy though, because like she shot her pheromones at him.
oh, that's right. She was
Yeah,
gave him the horny gas.
the horny
whatever.
goat weed.
Yep, there it is.
And then in Forever, it was Nicole Kidman. I forget
Yeah.
her name.
They definitely fucked. They fucked under the Nightmare Bat.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why
and
that's why he got cut.
and he left. He left, and she would have pulled out the silk sheets if she wasn't getting laid. You know what I mean?
Seal doesn't sing for nobody unless they're
Yeah.
getting laid.
If you put Seal on, somebody's getting fucked.
Yep, there it is. Going back to the comic. So yeah, Batman fucks the lead actress. This leads to that led from the one dude. He wasn't a pimp. What was he?
Producer?
No, because he wasn't part of the movie. He was with the other chicks. But
Are you sure he wasn't a pimp?
I mean, he was a pimp, but I don't think that was his official title.
Same. Weinstein shows up.
No, Weinstein would have been a whole different thing.
Lisa Headland shows up.
But yeah, there's a lot of 30s slang in this comic, and it leads to a lot of not leads, but it's a lot of 30s time centric things. The lingo, what's going on, the way Batman does his stuff, because it's real primitive compared to like modern Batman.
And I part of my issue with this book was the design for Batman, because they are trying to give him that old original weird ass design.
Yeah,
and it bugged me for some reason, which is weird because I actually like the art. It's a really good looking book, and I know the story's good because it's a Dan Jurgens story.
Yeah,
and me and Dan have a love-hate relationship that he knows nothing about because he doesn't know what it is. But
he and Jurgens go hand in hand.
they're the Clooney and Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
But no, I'm a huge fan of Dan Jurgens, and who does the art? Mike Perkins, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Perkins.
That art is so good.
It's a great looking book. It's a good story. I have an issue with that Batman. Like, I guess, and it's probably why I don't want to see this animated thing that you guys put in our Discord, because I don't know. I don't want to look at 40s and 50s Batman.
The thing about the animated one, like that one has an Alfred.
Yeah, but he still has those weird antenna,
like actual bat ears.
Yeah, but then well, I guess in the animated they're straight, but in this book they curve them, so he looks more like a demon.
He looks like the thing from The Exorcist, that Pazuzu thing.
Pazuzu?
Yeah.
And then in this book, he's got the purple gloves, and it's just...
Well, like, what year did Batman come out? 38?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
This is basically like year one, proper year one Batman.
Yeah.
I see him with those purple gloves, and look, I just spent like, 10 issues of Batman where he's dealing with Zur all, or however you pronounce it, and that's all I think when I see those purple gloves is like, oh my god. And then he looks like a regular dude, which I get it. He's supposed to be a regular dude, but I like my Batman like really buff, you know.
I don't mind that. Like I like for here that he's not, because it's essentially proper year one. He's also not like the most of his training he did. It's not like he went and off with the League of Assassins and shit. Like he just goes to the boxing gym, you know. So it's like it just fits. It's like utilitarian training. Whereas once you get to like Neil Adams and shit, then it's like, okay, that's technically like more like year 8 or something for comic purposes. And so he's like, okay, he developed a different body now from being hurt and being hit, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, it's really more my personal hangups. Because then there's like 3, 4, 5 pages where he's with the actress in the mansion, and he's got his thing down, and they're just talking, and it's a good looking book. I have to recommend it just on the art alone. On top of that, it's a decent story that I only read half of, but I know the writer's really good. I just, for some reason, I can't get into it, and I don't know why.
I was into it, but I don't want more.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good story. It's great, like, for the time that they're referencing and everything. It's a good story. Great story. I don't want more of this Batman.
Does it end like, everything?
Yeah, it gets all wrapped up. It has a nice bow and everything. Like, oh, it's the Batman.
I hate that last page.
with him swinging.
Yeah.
Jay, did you read it?
Like ass up in the air.
Did you read it?
I read some of it.
Okay,
like I read the first issue when that came out.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it because I don't think he was Batman at that point.
No, he was Batman. He gets in the first issue. It ends with him getting electrocuted.
Yeah, I forgot all that.
He's Batman, but they catch him because he's not.
Yeah, they keep catching his ass.
You can't fight 10, 20 people at once like real Batman.
Yeah,
but yet he takes out the monster.
Issue 2 when I was completely lost.
Issue 2 gets kind of wonky.
It is weird that
just because I couldn't remember, like I remember the beginning of the first night where Reese is kind of an ass, and then I forgot everything after that. And so when I read issue 2 and he was Batman and getting electrocuted, I was just lost. And I didn't want to go back and read part 1 again because I didn't like it. And then, so I was just too lost to continue. Like, I got halfway through the book and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. And I just like this art. Yeah, the art doesn't do anything for me.
Like,
The setting doesn't really do anything for me.
you dislike all the art, or is it just the design for Batman?
No, this art doesn't do anything for me. Like,
Okay.
it just wasn't hitting on any. Yeah,
Fair.
Just
One of
fair
the issues I had with the art is like you guys said, the style it has is good. Like especially when he's drawing like the female actress, like she looks like she'd be in like the old serials, like
Yeah.
even the color palette, like it's the old serials were black and white, but if they were in color, they'd be like this color, And the only thing I couldn't stand is that every time there's a word bubble, people's mouths are closed. And that's like hang up with me. Like I hate that in comics in general. And or like if the face doesn't match the expression, So I could like I don't know how in what stage they did everything. Like the guy they just gave him a script to draw from and then they did the dialogue later. That's kind of like how some of the older comics were made. So they probably did it that way. But yeah, like especially in the third issue it was really bad. Not so much in the first one, but it got and that's just something that really just irks me. If it's a book I'm not enjoying as much, like this book, I like the story, I like the setting, I like everything, and like I like that it's self-contained. We're not gonna have to read more. I would like to see it as a movie, but definitely like it still wasn't like it's not one of my favorite Batman comics. Like it's just the purple gloves, like the design I don't like. There's a reason why we
We evolved from that.
right, and like there's you can see like nobody goes back to that. It's like, oh, let me make them look like that style. They always kind of the closest thing to that would be like Frank Miller with the really long ears, But even that is not like fucking not like this, like it still looks cool,
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a certain point with Batman where it's like you just kind of get. I think it was Neil Adams, man. Like once you hit Neil Adams, you never go back. Yeah, I think everything everybody does kind of goes back to that style a little bit more than
And now he's dead.
And now he's dead.
R.I.P.
At least OJ's dead too.
What?
The universe balances itself.
Oh, yeah. Anything else before we rate this?
No,
No?
I'm good.
Oz, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Do you want me to give it the rating or?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm probably gonna go with a 4 because
Cool.
I think I think my problems with this book are really just my problems with this book. It's a good artist, it's a great writer, and the story is interesting. I can't get myself to keep reading it for some reason.
Jay, what would you give this book?
Well, since it's the first night, I think I will give it a 1.
Heck,
I liked it all. I think I have the same problems that Mo had, except not as much.
yeah,
Because it didn't take me out of the story.
yeah.
There's certain panels where I would have liked a little more expression on the faces, but it wasn't a detriment. Overall, I'll give it a 5. Do I want to give it a 5? Yeah, I'll give it a 5. 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Perfect.
The art is so good.
You know it doesn't go up to 10, right?
I'll give it a 10 out of 5. I don't want more of it, but if they do, it has to be like Batman and Hitler.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, this is DC Black, right? So they just do trilogies.
yeah. That's what I love about them. Like, but they'll do like part 2s though. Like they'll do like I don't know if they've done it yet, but
I don't think they have. They might have. I can't think of any book that
Yeah.
would have done it.
Yeah, I don't think, because like, do we know what the sales have been on this?
I don't think they've been too great, but I don't think they need to be that great. You know, I think they could just. It's what they choose to promote. You know, like there was that one. Was it that one? Was it Superman Knights of Steel? Like they didn't promote that book, but that book did pretty well, and it got something like 16 issues or something before, or it finished its run, whatever that was. But and they were promoting. It was like it was technically a low selling book until it became a higher selling book, and it was just because they kept putting it out.
True, because they promoted the hell out of that weird medieval stuff.
Yeah,
I know Batman had something, Superman had something, and I'm like, I have no desire to read this at all.
Yeah,
I'm over here with the First Night, like the art's so good.
Yeah. Wait till you see that Green Lantern cover, man.
He saw it. He was on when we showed.
Yeah, I was here. I saw it.
Yeah. As for me, I give it a 3.5. I don't know if I can give it a full 4, because honestly, by the time I got to like issue 3, it felt like a chore to read, and even though I'm liking what's happening, but it's like, dude, like I have to finish this before the show. Like I don't know if it's because I took too long to read it to get before the show, or but it just didn't feel as enjoyable as it should have for me. And something in that, like in that time, I was thinking like, when are they going to bring this World War II stuff in? Like why they brought it up, then they don't, then they do, and it's like. And then even like the way they're fighting, it's like not even like the villain they're fighting is not even like a fascist or a similar like.
He was just an asshole.
Yeah, it's not overtly like, oh, okay, this is because in the time of Hitler, we were having problems here where it's like there's sympathizers here. A lot of the country was divided in what we should do in relation to World War II. So a lot of history books don't talk about that, but there was a lot of Nazi sympathizers here, like some of the banks
was
from
Times
here.
Man of the Year.
Yeah, but also so was Osama bin Laden, but like banks here help bankroll, Hitler, like give him loans and shit, So it's just one of those things. Like, if they would have put more, if they're gonna bring that up and put some of that where that's like, he's fighting the war at home, and because they're not gonna do the Batman versus Hitler, then it'd be a little more better. It could be corny, like he's fighting the Flag Smasher or whatever, but it could be corny, but they didn't do that, so why bring it up like that,
Yeah.
I think they want to establish that it is in that time, but it's like, we see it, like we see it in the art,
Yeah, it's in that respect, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird that it gets brought up so much, even though, like, it's a very visible problem that's happening at that time.
Yeah. And then if they didn't bring it up at all, we'd be like, oh man, they didn't even bring that up. It's 1930. Now how they not even like, they don't watch the news,
They don't watch nothing. It's all radio.
Yeah. All right. Up next is Spectacular Spider-Man. Is it spectacular Spider-Man or sensational?
Spectacular.
Okay, good. Yeah, this book, I found this book by chance or providence. I can't tell which one it is because I haven't been liking a lot of these Amazing Spider-Man books right now, and even the Dan Slott ones, which would be a given for me to love. I enjoy some of them, but you got Spider-Boy and everything, and it's like, dude, like, what the fuck? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Spectacular Spider-Man, which is a book that pits Peter Parker and Miles Morales in a team up, but they're not even trying to team up. They're like, Peter's just concerned that he's a younger type of hero like him, and hey, you know what? We probably, something that we should do is probably meet up and talk and decompress a little about the shit we do, because it is the power and responsibility thing, and it's part of our responsibilities to keep our minds right. And you've gone through some shit. Let's just have coffee on it. I don't drink or anything, and you're too young, so let's just have coffee. Yeah. And then they get embroiled in these different, like, they try not to be Spider-Men, and the Jackal comes out and he's all big and buff and shit, and then they start doing Spider-Man shit, and he's like, I thought we said we're not gonna do that shit. He's like, yeah, well, we got to. That's our responsibility too, you know. And then the book starts, and yeah, there's a whole
problem with that.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a problem with that. This book does weird things with timelines. I get that they do a lot of flashbacks, but when I get to my rating, it's gonna lose a point for this.
Yeah,
because it opens exactly how you said, where Miles is like, I thought we were gonna hang out and not do Spider-Man stuff, but here we are doing Spider-Man stuff. And, Peter is like, yeah, I know, my bad, and it make it seem like it's the first time they hang out.
Yeah,
but then you read through the book, and that dude shows up like it's like week 12.
Yeah,
weekly hangouts.
Yeah.
Like I got to that and now I'm pissed because I was expecting something to happen on that, because a lot of the story flashes back to that first hangout that they do. And like they start introducing all the characters and all that. And okay, all right, they're setting it up. And then there's one page that tells you all the times they've hung out, and then week 12 this dude shows up, and I'm thinking, wait, at the beginning of the book, didn't they make it seem like this was their first time trying to do this and stuff happened? And that just like soured me on the whole story from then on. Like I'm reading it in anger.
And for me, I didn't have that issue. Jay, did you have that issue?
Not exactly, but almost exactly.
What was your
No, just all the jumping around. It's like it feels really unnecessary. Unnecessary and a little confusing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do all this work in order to read Spider-Man.
Now, you guys finished the issue 3 too, as well?
Yeah, I got all the way through issue 3. Like, there's like a weird 2 pages where these 2 doctor chicks are like in Italy making out or something, and that comes up later. Like that's set up for like later on. But reading issue 1, it's like, wait, what? Like, what are we doing here? And then like it goes back to the actual story.
I think the reason they jumped around,
real.
Yeah,
they're in the Arcadium.
Yeah,
right. But we don't know that at this point. We don't know that till like issue 3.
Right, and that's one of the issues with this book, where it's like, not an issue, but I think that's, you're the then and now thing is before, because I think, by the issue 3 we find out that Peter and Miles are in the Arcadium, and now it's like, okay, when did they become part of the Arcadium? And I think that's why they do the then and now, is to confuse you as to what is real and what isn't with them. Yeah.
Well, I thought they were just trying to annoy me.
No, it's a tactic. They use it in the movie Vanilla Sky, and
you know what? Interesting fact.
Yeah,
I walked out of that movie at the end of it, and I was like, "Fuck, that movie sucked."
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah,
something that I already hate.
Yeah,
like yeah.
But I think this one's gonna play out better than Vanilla Sky.
No, it's already much better. At least it has characters I like.
Yeah, and with that concept, like
Vanilla Sky. Okay, free Vanilla Sky. It's just I don't like it. I don't like how they're telling the story.
Yeah.
I appreciate them telling me that they're gonna tell the story in a fucked up way.
Yeah.
With literally the title of the first issue is In Media Res.
Yeah.
So I get that, But I'm not enjoying this, and I love Arcade superficially.
Yeah. And Greg Weisman.
Do I like Greg Weisman? I think I do.
He did Gargoyles and Young Justice.
Oh, Greg Weisman. Yeah, that guy. Love that guy.
And Humberto Ramos.
I like Humberto Ramos. But yeah, this story just isn't doing it for me. And yeah, I've seen Greg play with timelines before, but I've never seen him do anything like this. And it's just not hitting for me. Like, if I didn't like these characters and if I wasn't so confused by the artwork, I would probably have stopped reading. I love Hate this artwork.
Like, you love what?
So weird. I love Hate the artwork.
Yeah.
Like whenever they draw a normal person's face, it looks weird.
Almost like they're pouting, but not, and they're supposed to be happy.
Like both. Like it's so like there's so many frames where I'm like, why did you draw that like that? Like in particular, there's one specific frame where it's Peter's kids getting excited about mac and cheese, and I'm like, those things look like demons. Like they don't look like children.
Like children of the corn.
Like just a little bit of red in the eyes, a little black on, like, and those are demons about to eat Peter.
Yeah, it's a shame that issue 4 hadn't come out. I would have really liked. I think if we would have read issue 4, what we've read up to this point, where we would have felt better about. And my issue, I did it wrong. I accidentally read everything backwards because I bought issue 3, and I'm like, well, if this book is any good, I'll be wowed by this random issue, you know. So I read issue 3, and I loved issue 3, and then I read issue 2 by mistake, thinking I had already read issue 1. And then I'm like, oh well, let me read issue 1. And then so I read it all. That jumping around shit fucked me up differently because I was jumping around, you know, while they're jumping around. So I'm gonna read it one way through. I enjoyed it more than you guys did, because especially in trying to read like these Spider-Boy books and Spider-Man books and Amazing Spider-Man, like Amazing Spider-Man #1, like 50 I read, and it's like it's Zeb Wells and Ed McGuinness doing the art, and it should be good, and it's just not. Like, it looks good, the art's great, but it's like it's a Gold Goblin story and the Return of the Green Goblin. It's like the fuck, like
Zeb
Gold Goblin sucked, huh?
Zeb might be losing it.
Well, he was busy. I mean, because he wrote the Deadpool movie, so he might, you know, he was shooting a good load there. Yeah. But I just think it's editorial, really. Like I like the whole idea of Gold Goblin is stupid, and then, you know, using that to bring in the Green Goblin, and then the way they choose to bring them back is just dumb. Like it's, you know, their status quo. I get, like, everything goes back to status quo, but like you said, Jay, like sometimes some things just feel like, all right, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop because you know they're going for the status quo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you're like, Jay's like, did I say that? But
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Like I said it a little different, but I do remember.
But that's how I see it in this case, and you know, or at least how I interpreted what you said and paraphrased it, and then regurgitated it all over you guys. But yeah, so that's like in dealing with that stupid shit in those other books. Like this book for me was like, oh man, like. I love this, you know. So, and so I did have a different experience than you guys did. But I really wish we could have done this review after reading issue 4. I thought it was going to be.
Did you actually read issue 4?
It wasn't
out.
It's
not out yet.
Yeah, it'll be
today.
out.
Well, it's out today.
Is it?
No,
it might have been delayed because
I bought 2 and 3
I'm literally
today.
looking at a copy of it right now. Right.
Oh wow, damn! I'm gonna have to read that.
Because
All
it's
right,
not
everybody-
on Amazon.
Everybody, shut
buy it
off.
on
We'll meet back in 15 minutes.
Okay, no,
I'm kidding.
you were talking about the art, and
Yeah.
I was gonna put something up, but if you haven't read it, then
Nah, put it up. I don't care.
just okay. It's 2 panels specifically. Here, let me.
Do they make sense?
It's sort of to what the. Oh,
So what Jay's
I
complaint
forgot
was?
how to do this. It's just because like I saw these and I kind of wanted to laugh a little bit because and these popped up right when you guys were talking about the art. Like, dude, his face right here.
Yeah.
And then okay, so this is Miles Morales. Nah, it's not a bad looking Miles Morales, but you go up to like a panel up, and he's like 10. look at this.
Damn, let me zoom in here.
That little 10-year-old Miles Morales.
Oh shit!
You guys haven't read issue 4, so this is about as much as I'm going to show. But yeah, that
And
Peter
then
Parker
he grew up?
face,
Yeah.
and that 10-year-old Miles Morales.
Can I see Peter's face again?
Oh sure.
Well, even that face in the first panel too. The top panel is weird, like that weird grin. Like
Miles,
But
they've
like-
been drawing him weird from the beginning, though.
What's he looking at here? And like his what's that smile?
He's demented right there. He's already possessed.
Like I'm not even gonna point out how long.
that
When
smile looks like
Casey's
he's got
talking,
no
it's right
teeth, like
there.
his dentures fell out.
They made Kamala look good. Like, well,
Yeah, barely.
good. I don't know what's going on with her hand over here.
Yeah, heads are hard.
Oh, God damn it!
Yeah. So that was just funny. Okay, that's just about as much as I'm gonna give you
Yeah,
guys.
he probably photoshopped that face from another.
It's all AI. I'm blaming AI.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
There is one part of this book I really enjoyed, which of course was arcade.
yeah,
There's a scene with them, and Peter and Miles are in the Arcadium, and they're watching their lives, and they're like, "Why do they even have masks if they're so remarkable, like looking people? Like, no one's even saying a last name. Like,
yeah. And that's like, imagine reading that book first, Jay. Like, that's the book you read first. Yeah.
I would be mad because that is." We don't get a lot of arcade in the first 2 issues.
No, and it's building, it's looming, but it's not overt.
I
And
didn't get any arcade in the first 2 issues.
well, you do in the sense that these characters that you're seeing little B, C stories, D stories for, are in the Arcadium. You know?
Right, but I mean, you don't get the dude.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I said it's looming. But yeah. I don't know what else I can say about this book because I do enjoy it, and it is a fairly high rating book for me.
I really enjoy looking at the art because it's so weird.
But like, yeah, especially that shit Oz showed me, and
Like, I could have, like, there were so many panels. I was like, man, if only I cared more, I would like try and print all of these
Issue 4
to
on
show
sale
for the
now.
show. And yeah, that's weird that issue 4 is on sale because I swore I bought them like 2 and 3 and
like-
1 today.
I don't
I
know.
went
if
on
it's
it.
on sale. I
You
just
know what?
looked it
I
up.
must have bought them yesterday
okay.
and then tried to read them today.
Oh yeah, this is
without
Marvel.
checking.
They wait too long. DC's your Tuesday release book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And still nobody buys it. They don't buy it Tuesday. They don't buy it Wednesday. They don't buy it Thursday. They don't buy it Friday. They don't buy it Saturday. They don't buy it Sunday.
I
By
buy.
Monday, they're
I
like,
buy
hey,
DC.
yeah, no,
I just got the new Wonder Woman.
yeah. How's
Were
that?
you reading
I
that
haven't read it
already, or did our
No, Derek
you-
got me. Well, yeah, Derek got me back into it because I did like the first issue. I just kind of let it fall to the wayside. But then, after reading all of it to read that birthday issue, now I'm keeping up with it. And I love Trinity. She is so adorable. Like, I love her. Like, I don't know if you've been reading her. Like, she has stories in the back where it's like Damian and John Kent taking care of her. And there was like one issue where she's like, she's scared to go to sleep because she thinks Darkseid is in her closet and that he has math.
He has
and
what?
Math.
Yeah.
The anti-life equation.
Yeah.
She just calls it math. It's so funny to me. And she uses the Black Lotus to get high.
Oh, no. Damn it. Issue 4 is for sale.
Yeah, it is. I just bought it.
It just came out today. Like, if you don't have it, it's cool. Like,
no, I have it.
Oh,
yeah, I'm buying it right now.
That's what I love about not having that's what I love about being digital.
Yeah.
Like I do feel bad for all the brick and mortar stores that couldn't make it.
They should have sold candy.
I only knew it existed because I was looking for images for the show. And
which comic? How much candy would you have bought at a comic book store in your entire life, Jay?
I would have bought so much candy.
Right.
Wait, candy?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little vending machines, or like
vending machines, or even like just impulse, just like
even like the gumball machines filled with Mike and Ike's.
Yeah,
those things make money after a while. Like
I make $80 a month off of one, off of just a Mike and Ike.
My comic book shop doesn't have candy.
None of them do. That's the thing.
They should.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're making $800 a month off of that. Like,
no, $80 a month off of the Mike and Ike's.
Whatever, it's just sitting there though. It's like,
but that's just 1/3 of the machine. The other two are like M&Ms and Skittles.
That's what I'm saying. Is you're making money and not doing it.
Yeah,
just
right. It cost me about $40 to fill because I get them on sale, Mo deals, and then I got the gumball one too. So I end up making about like one. My whole light bill is covered by these quarters.
Dude, it's not a Mo deal when you're buying like in freaking bulk.
No, but it's beyond that. It's like there's a bulk price and then there's the price I get. So,
yeah. Right, it's the price you get. It's not the price like random.
It's a Mo deal. No, if I tell you, hey, Oz, they got candy right here for this price, I'm giving you a Mo deal.
Like if somebody shows up to your shop and says, "Hey, Fantastic Forum," like, do they get a Mo deal off the candy?
Yeah.
Dude, not with alcohol in my mouth.
Like I just give them a quarter,
That was like straight up whiskey, man. You can't be doing that when there's 80 proof in my mouth.
Came back through your nose.
Well, almost.
No, sometimes with these kids, I'm like, the kid's like, "Hey, you don't have any lollipop for kids or anything? Here, take a quarter." And then one kid he was supposed to go to a vending machine, like, so use a quarter on the vending machine because money stays there. She goes, "Oh, that's better than lollipop." He puts it in his pocket and leaves.
That kid's
so like, hey, I go, that kid's is a smart one. Smart one. Yeah.
So anything more about the book?
I love it. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think half a point because they should have made sure I knew 4 was out today. I thought it was gonna be that was part of the plan, but when I searched, it wasn't coming up. So, but I did keep putting Sensational Spider-Man, so that was my bad. And it's spectacular. I hate all these, like, so many Spider books, So I'm reading Ghost Spider as well, and
in the regular books, is Miles and Kamala, is that a thing?
they were like dating before, but then she died, and then I think when she came back, like I don't think they're
Dude,
back.
she just came
Yeah.
back like 2 months ago, like 2 issues ago.
You're right. Even here, they're like, I came back, but I don't even really know how to explain it. But I'm here, because she's an Arcadium,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably go with 4.
Well,
It
okay.
can't, I read the first 3, and
And comparing it to like the Superior books, like what do you?
I don't know if I could make that comparison. Like, I like the way Octavius talks because it's just so stupid. Like, the die is cast. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But I like I would say that in real life.
Yeah.
So, but Spider-Man and Miles feel like the Spider-Man that is in those books. And the book itself, like the first issue, I had my issues with the whole timeline things, but that's only the first issue. That gets a little bit better as you go through the second and third, because like if I didn't like the book, I wouldn't have gone and read the second and third issue. I would have just read the first one and talked about that today. But the story itself is interesting. It's a Spider-Man book. So I read the next 2. So overall, I probably have to give this book at least a 4. It's worth reading. I don't know what would make it a 5, other than like casting the die.
Maybe a Superior and Spider Boy.
Well, no, actually, I do kind of know. Well, it loses a point because of that timelines issue that I brought up earlier.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's no Spider Boy in it helps it too. So maybe 4.5. I'll give it an extra half a point for being a book without Spider Boy in it.
Like, I almost feel like this was the Spider-Man and Spider Boy book, like, because they're kind of like sidekicky, but they're not really sidekicky. Like it has a very, for me, a special quality of a team up.
It helps it that it gets weird because when Stacy shows up as his wife, and as someone that doesn't read Marvel regularly, I wasn't sure if this was a Arcadium thing or an actual thing, because you just turn the page and suddenly it's not even about, like, Gwen Stacy is just there talking to Peter. The actual focus of that panel was Aunt May dating Gwen's dad, uncle. I don't know who that dude was that came.
Oh yeah.
May. I don't know who he is, but I think it's her, because Peter Parker says something about, I don't mind you becoming my stepdad or something. Whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, like, Gwen Stacy just shows up as his wife, and like they don't even blink. Like, I wasn't sure if that's just something that was happening. And then they got kids, and one of those kids has dreadlocks, and it was just weird. I actually had to look up, is Gwen Stacy, like, did Peter Parker get rid of Mary Jane? So yeah, that I just 4.5. There's enough weird stuff going on that it's a good story, I think.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
3.
Like, I enjoy the ridiculous art. I like the banter between Peter and Miles. And I like Arcade, but I'm not liking so far how the story is told.
Okay. We're gonna have to do an update next week for issue 4.
I'm gonna give you guys some breaking news.
Yeah.
I just got tacos from Pace.
From Pace.
Nice.
The chatter.
Oh, nice.
Opti.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He got me tacos.
Nice.
I'm thinking Pace Picante.
No, Pace from chat.
Yeah.
From All Games chat.
Wait, how did he send you tacos?
DoorDash.
Yeah. I guess he got my address from Billy. I don't know. Because
Dude, how do I get your address?
how do you got my address? Do you have my address?
I don't have your address.
Okay.
I barely remember your state. I keep thinking it's New Mexico, but it's Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually closer to Old Mexico than he is to New.
True. That's very true.
Aren't we all?
Oh man, what the fuck is this? Is this tongue?
Ooh,
Hey, lengua is delicious.
How about,
swear, if you
I
don't
don't know,
eat that
it tastes good.
fucking taco, heck, look,
What?
if you don't eat it because it's tongue, like, dude,
No, I'm tasting it to see what the fuck it is. It's too red,
oh,
tongue's not red.
but it's
Yeah.
cooked, so it can't be the meat.
You know
Yeah.
what? Is it a taco?
Yeah, they're all in tortillas.
Then eat it. I mean,
Yeah, I got to put the good shit on it, you know.
yeah.
what's the good shit?
They gave me cucumber, some red stuff. I think.
Cucumber.
Yeah, the slices.
Who
Yeah.
the fuck sent this to you? Hold on, I gotta curse somebody out.
They,
Cucumber.
Yeah,
Cabbage.
the slice.
Kind of
yeah,
white.
yeah, sliced. Yeah, it's all sliced.
That doesn't help.
No, that's
I don't know because I never seen it like that either.
That's like saying pass the salsa and somebody gives you tahini.
Yeah, right. That's the sauce.
you know
give
when
you,
they
like,
do something
tomato
real
sauce.
spicy, they give me like when the sauce is real spicy, they'll give you cucumber.
Nah, man.
Like some of the birria spots do that shit.
Dude, there's
Yeah,
this green
this
sauce that I
place-
always thought was like avocado sauce. I recently found out like there's absolutely no avocado in it.
Yeah, it's just jalapeno and olive oil.
It's
That
just the
real
green,
light
it's just
one,
the
right?
green sauce.
Yeah,
that real like
Yeah.
watery light one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good as fuck, right?
No, it's delicious. I always thought I was having avocado. I'm like, oh, I put some guacamole on that motherfucker. Nope. Ain't no goddamn.
Heck, what would you give our review of the Spider-Man?
I would give the review a 4 because Mo read it reverse, and you guys sounded unenthused a little bit. But also, I think that's a problem with the story as well.
Okay. All right, Jay. Jay, I think it's time. You get extra 15 minutes of sleep tonight.
Cool.
What do you think?
Hold on.
Works for me.
I read one thing today.
Oh,
I'm not going to
well,
review it, but I'm just going to say it.
okay.
Last week I mentioned I saw a comic called Hardstyle Juice.
Uh-huh.
I read it. I read the first 3 issues today. Because it
Okay.
turns out you get free Comixology with your Prime.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But
No,
like,
no, they're part of Prime Reading.
Yeah.
But they're not You don't get Comixology. You
Well,
get Prime Reading.
Either way, I read them through Amazon.
Yeah, you can read them if you have Prime
Yeah.
for free, or you could buy them for $2.99.
I'll maybe
so like
I'll
if I
review
just
it.
have like the Kindle app open like this,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get them.
Yeah.
so I can just search
Hardstyle Juice.
Hardstyle Juice.
And now
It's a
Like,
Comixology original.
after reading it, I understand the title. And I should have understood it last week, but I wasn't thinking.
It says not found.
Then they're lying to you.
Is Hardstyle 2 words?
Yeah.
Okay. I also misspelled juice.
But yeah, it's an interesting story. I won't review it. Maybe next week. But it's an interesting story.
Yeah, let us know what it is, and if you want to talk about it next week, maybe one of us will read. Probably not Lawrence because he hates comics.
Yeah.
That's why he was like all we were talking about was comics this week. That's why he didn't want to be on.
Yeah, I understand. He does that.
All right. Heck,
Yeah,
man, why don't you give us some final thoughts, man?
When you have tacos, the world is beautiful.
Oz.
Like, subscribe, I got some videos I gotta shoot that will probably be coming up soon. Yeah. I no new boxes, but there's a secret project I'm working on.
No. Somebody was asking a question on one of your videos, but I don't know. I think they need tracking info. Somehow you're the authority now, because
apparently I work for Loot Crate. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I answered that. If it wasn't today, then I probably answered it already.
Because definitely no, it wasn't today. It was like last week.
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's so weird because people like ask like, when's mine coming? And then it's like, well, the fence should be out, and then it's like, but you get them before, so they're like, I'm still waiting for mine, and then they're like, after the comment, like it gets there like 2 days later.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I responded to them like, I don't fucking know.
Tracking number is 6969. Jay, final thoughts, man.
There was another supernatural horror movie that I saw recently, but I can't talk about it.
Too scary?
No, NDA.
Oh shit.
Oh. Ooh. When can you talk about it?
I assume once the movie comes out proper.
Can you say the name? Yeah. So that we could tease the audience? No,
they told us not to even say the name.
Oh, man.
Can you tell us when you might be able to talk about it? Like month?
Later this year.
Damn.
There's like 6 months left in this year.
It's the worst foreplay ever.
Can you get Lawrence to watch it before we talk about it?
I already warned him to not go to a theater and see it.
Would you tell Lawrence not to see it? Like, that's half our stick. Like, he has a whole segment about watching stuff like that.
I know, but it would be wrong because it's a movie that he would see, not realizing that it was a horror movie. And I'm about to say too much, so I wanted to warn, like, regardless of how we treat him, he is my friend, and I do love him. So I wanted to warn him to wait for streaming.
Me too, but still, ratings.
For the likes. As for the rest of it, they are a fantastic forum, and I speak for Larry when I say this. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking, subscribing, hit the bell, and let us know what you like, don't like, what you want to hear, don't want to hear, and we'll see you next week.